A senior member of the Syrian rebel group Ahrar al-Sham, known for its links to al-Qaeda, visited the United States at the end of last year, according to an American news website. Labib al Nahhas serves as the group's foreign affairs representative. He's a Spanish citizen who lived in Syria as well as in several European countries. After studying and working in the UK, he returned to Syria and joined the rebel movement. As a top Ahrar al-Sham member, he traveled widely to gain Western support for his cause. Washington admits Ahrar al-Sham might be cooperating with the radical grouping Al-Nusra Front in Syria, which the U.S. considers a terrorist organization. Despite that, Washington's veto stopped the UN from categorizing Ahrar al-Sham as a terror group. RT's Gaine Chichikan asked the State Department about that.
Were U.S. officials aware of this visit?
I'm not sure that we were aware of it. I don't believe he had any meetings here, certainly. And I can't speak to visa records. It's privacy considerations, so I don't have much detail I can share with you.
Does the U.S. apply pressure on Ahrar al-Sham to adhere to cessation of hostilities?
We apply pressure on all members of the credible, vetted opposition, and that's part of the HNC.
Do you consider Ahrar al-Sham a vetted opposition group?
Again, we apply pressure on all members of the HNC to adhere to the cessation of hostilities.
Ahrar al-Sham's connection to al-Qaeda in Syria is hardly a secret. One of the group's founders, Abu Khalid al-Suri, was a well-known al-Qaeda operative. 2 weeks ago, the group attacked an Alawite village, al-Zara, in Syria. Residents described a massacre. A day before that attack on al-Zara, the U.S., along with Britain and France, blocked Russia's proposal at the UN to blacklist this group for its ties with terrorists. Reportedly, Washington still wanted Ahrar al-Sham to be part of the cessation of hostilities agreement. But State Department's Mark Toner said he did not know much about the group and the al-Zara attack.
I know you said that you don't know much about Ahrar al-Sham and what they did in al-Zara. I have the photograph that I mentioned. I was reluctant to show it because of how graphic it was, but now I think I will do so, and maybe this will prompt you to look into this group. And I want to ask you, why should this group have protection under the cessation of hostilities when they clearly don't care about cessation of hostilities?
Look, I'm just not aware of this incident. I was not casting doubt or not trying to, I'm just not aware of it.
They attacked our village. Many were killed. My brother is among the dead. His children were wounded. They killed entire families.
We were asleep when at 4 in the morning, intense shooting woke us up. Then a shell exploded in the neighbor's yard. We ran through the prickly bushes before we got to a safe place.
Terrorists mercilessly killed 4 or 5 families. They killed a 90-year-old man, his children and grandchildren, and also women from another family we know. Some of the murdered children had just got into the 2nd grade.
Former U.S. diplomat Jim Jutras says Washington works with rebel groups like Ahrar al-Sham in case it needs a plan B in Syria.
How many years after the 9/11 attacks on the United States from al-Qaeda that we are cooperating with al-Qaeda, as we did in Libya, as we did in Bosnia, as we did in Kosovo? What, we don't have visa controls? We don't pay attention to who's coming into this country from a war zone, and they expect us to believe that officials of the U.S. government were not aware of the visit. They know very well that the Ahrar al-Sham and other so-called moderate groups are closely connected to al-Nusra, al-Qaeda, and they don't back away from them because they know without cooperation with al-Qaeda, which is what this boils down to, they have no policy options in Syria, that they have to accept the fact that Assad is going to stay in power and the terrorists must be defeated, and they cannot accept that.